This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. I am excited to talk with her today because I've changed my lifestyle a little bit. Started about a year ago drinking tea. Yes, I got a cup of coffee right here. I still drink my coffee. It's not about the caffeine. I like just a warm beverage. But teas, first thing in the morning, I have a tea. In the evening, I have tea. I try different types of teas, and that's what she offers, just a piece of what she offers. And the teas itself, you can order them anywhere in the world, but there's so many amazing properties involved in those teas. We're going to talk about that today. IO Health and Wellness, right out of the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands is where she's located. So great to have Binta Peterson join us on the program today. How are you doing?
I am good and getting better. Thank you. How are you doing?
How could you not be good in paradise like that? Oh, good for you. Did you grow up in the Virgin Islands?
Yes, I did. I graduated from the wonderful Idorican High School, went to UVI for a little bit, and then just been all over the world.
Beautiful. Wow. So with your teas, and I know you offer a lot of different things, especially for people that are in the Virgin Islands, specifically your island, St. Thomas, right?
Yes.
You have bush teas and other teas. Why are teas so important for us, and why are they so more popular now than ever, I believe?
Well, because of the internet, they seems like they're more popular now. But the reality is that people have always been drinking tea. I mean, remember the Boston Tea Party? I mean, really, tea has always been something that humans consume because of the fact that herbs are so they're everywhere. They're so prevalent. They're everywhere. The thing that happened is that when you realize that teas are something that actually can heal your body, that's where the dynamic of tea and the new discovery of tea is happening on the planet.
Well, when you say discoveries, do you mean the different leaves that go into it, or the different formulation? Because it's not just one leaf. There's a bunch of different ones in there.
Yeah, well, when I say discoveries, I mean discovery from people are now becoming more conscious.
Gotcha.
That we are supposed to consume teas, and coffee is good also. It's just that coffee should not be consumed late at night.
Sure. Yeah.
Even though because some people the caffeine keeps them up, but teas also have caffeine. Depends on the tea that you're drinking. So, for example, black tea have caffeine in it, and green tea has caffeine.
Yep.
So it just depends on the tea.
And certainly for bedtime, chamomile, that never gets old for me. I can drink that anytime during the day. I don't know what it is about the flavor of that. It's got a little pungent, but a little spicy. And that's just one type of tea. There's probably the most common one there is. Tell us about some of yours.
Well, the tea that I would put in place of chamomile, because chamomile do not grow in the Virgin Islands. As far as I am knowledgeable of now, I am going to do some more research and see if I can grow some chamomile here. But presently, the tea that I would drink in place of chamomile would be soursop leaf tea. That's what I would put in place. And I would also add some sugar apple leaf to it, because it's always best to have 2 herbs or 3 herbs together. So I would combine both of them in order to have a mellow, relaxed evening or just to start your day.
But here's the difference. That chamomile tea that I'm drinking, I don't know where it came from. I have no idea. I just, get a box online, drop the tea bag in, hope for the best, that it was grown somewhere where, no pesticides, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yours, we know what you got going on. It's handpicked. Tell us about the process when you formulate some of your teas.
The process of formulating the tea, well, first we have to pick the bush, as we would say in the Caribbean, pick the leaves. And then after you pick the leaves, then you got to wash them, make sure they don't have any bugs on them because they're organically grown and most of them are wildcraft. So we're going to pick the leaves, clean the leaves, wash them with water, make sure you're washing them with good water from your cistern or good water because water is such an important thing.
Sure.
And then after that, we have a dry house. So we shake them off really good so that we can have less water because you do not want a whole bunch of water on the leaves because then they're not going to dry good. So then you have to, after you do that, then you're going to come along and separate the leaves so that we can use the leaves now. Separate the leaves and then you put them in the dry house so that they can dry. And every single day, 2 or 3 times a day, you have to go and turn these leaves so that they dry without any like mildew or mold or anything so that because if you want to make sure that the leaves are dry because now the leaves have to be placed in a bag after they're dried and shipped off to the customer. So that is the process. The process takes about for the herbs to be really dry and work. It takes about 3 weeks for the process of getting the whole from the tree to the client. Takes about 3 weeks.
Wow. But this is done organically with love, I'm going to add. This is your passion. It means a lot. It really does. I'm big into energy, and it's the energy that you put into it. It's the same thing as when somebody says, "Oh, grandma cooked. It's just when she cooks, it tastes so good because she puts a certain intent into it." And I believe that's what you got going on with the teas. Can we pick one? Let's say the all-around bush tea that you sell.
The all-around bush tea. That is the number one tea. Actually, that is we have a lot of individual teas. For example, if you was to call and say you were having a problem or email, then we will come up with a formula specifically for your issue. But the main tea that we sell right now is the all around the bush tea. And the all around bush tea has in the vervine, which is amazing because vervine is the herb that we used a lot during that virus that they had a few years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In the Caribbean. And it actually helps with respiratory issues. It helps with if somebody had pneumonia. It really helps the bronchial area of the body.
Wow.
So the vervine is in the all around the bush tea. Then we have the soursop. That's one of the main ingredients in the all around the bush tea. Then we have in sugar apple, guava, and it also having avocado leaves, and it having mangoes. And that is it. That is the formula for the all around the bush tea. Each one of those ingredients have a component that they complement each other, but they all work on similar areas of the body, but it helps to, I would say it helps to propel the healing of the body. So
when we say guava, it's not the actual fruit, it's the leaves from the guava?
The guava leaves from the tree. Yes.
And I got to imagine the type of fruit that is. There's probably a lot of vitamin C in that.
Yes, guava have a lot of vitamin C, and it has a lot of pectin, and it has a lot of collagen, the guava itself.
Wow.
But the leaves now are actually good for diabetes and high blood pressure.
So if I'm going to have let's say I'm going to buy the all around bush tea.
Yes.
Give us some of the people that, sure, you want a great tasting tea that supports your body, your immune system, and all of that. But some of the other things that somebody might want to pick that tea for, what would they be?
What would they pay for the tea?
No, what would it be? Let's say somebody is dealing with a respiratory situation. Maybe they have a cold. That might be good for them. Those kinds of challenges. What are some of the other things?
I would put the all around the bush tea, but I would also add some black wattle herb. It's a herb that grows wild in the Caribbean, and it likes to grow in a swampy area. It likes moisture. So if somebody had a really bad cold, they would want to add some black wattle to that all around the bush tea. The reason why I started using the black wattle, one of my associates whom we work at the same massage center, and I'm just going to say the name of the place is Therapeutic Massage, and it's here in the Virgin Islands. And I can tell you her name, Laurie. She was in the military for over 20 years, and then she came back home and she had a bad cough. And she said she did everything and it just wasn't leaving. And then one time, a gentleman, he said, you should just try. He brought a whole plant to her and told her, try the black wattle leaves. And she did. She
Wow.
said the first night that she made the tea and drank the tea, she noticed that the next day her cough had subsided. Then the next day she did it again. And she said before you know it, she didn't have a cough anymore. And she was carrying around that cough for over a year before she got rid of it after coming back from being in the Navy. I think it had something to do with the fact that she was change of environment. So, but that's the way black wattle is a powerful herb. It actually helps to heal the respiratory system. Last week, I was having an issue with a cough also. And I was told that it had something going around, but I've decided that I'm not going to be part of that, whatever it is that's going around. But I did go walking in the morning on the beach and it was very cold and I intended to walk with a cover up and I didn't. So when I got back, a few days later, I noticed that, oh, my chest feels weird. So what I did was I did the all around the bush tea and then I added the black wattle to it. And I also added some French thyme. That's what we call it here in the island. The scientific name is oregano. Some people call it oil of oregano.
Okay.
It's really, really big on the internet right now, but it actually grows wild here. Everywhere you look, you see it growing. So I added some oil of oregano leaf to my vervine, to my all around the bush tea. Actually, I am not exaggerating. I was not able to come on last week because while I was talking to you, every other minute I'll be coughing. So it actually worked.
I believe it. I have a cough, which I got to get me some of that. I'm not even kidding. I never get sick, and just like a 2-day cold I have.
Yes,
but it's all
and
good.
now is when you want to work on that cold before it really becomes
yes
a cold. Because I find that if you allow something to really like a cold or a cough to stick like 2, 3, 4, 5 after 2 days, 3 days, then you need to work on it before it becomes a problem. We have this saying, prevention is better than cure.
Sure.
I think that is a perfect mantra. And that is the mantra for my tea. Use the tea before you need to use the tea.
I totally agree with you. And I had some things to do over the weekend. I felt a little something coming on. So I didn't sleep well because I was busy over the weekend. And I think just like you, I should have just stayed in bed one day and just,
Uh-huh.
you know, to your point about
Mhm.
feeling a chill, a
Uh-huh.
lot of what we're talking about here is herbal. It goes even back to Chinese medicine. They've been using
Mhm.
teas for centuries. Um, in Chinese medicine, you are supposed to stay warm. You're not even, they say don't even drink a cold beverage. It will compromise your body.
Yeah.
Everything has to be warm. And to your point, even just walking in with, summertime and air conditioning, you shouldn't do that according to Chinese medicine. So spot on. I have to ask you though, Binta, you
Mhm.
said it was a little
I'm listening.
chilly in the morning. You're in the
Yes, it
Virgin
was.
Islands. What's
Uh-huh.
what's chilly in Fahrenheit?
Listen, I'm not going to be. It was about 65
Okay,
degrees,
well that's chilly for you, and I get that. And I
and
just
I was walking on Megan's Bay.
yeah, I'm just curious. I'm not judging. I'm just curious. And if you're used to a certain temperature,
Uh-huh.
temps around 80 and low 80s or whatever it might be, and then it tips down to that, then it's like that's a chill. I get it.
It was, I was, listen, and I noted that a lot of people was not on the beach that day,
Hmm,
that time of the day, because normally it have a group of people that are on the beach at 5:30 in the morning.
sure.
And this particular day, it did not have a lot of people on the beach, but
They were home
we,
drinking tea.
yes, I think they were.
As they should be. Wow. Now, if somebody, that's the bush tea. If
Uh-huh.
somebody wanted to reach out and say,
Mhm.
hey, this is what I'm dealing with, whatever chronic conditions, things like that.
Mhm.
Could they contact you through your website and you potentially come up with a formulation of tea for them?
Yes, I can. And that is something that is the best thing that you can do for a person, because then you're actually making a tea that is for that person. I'm not, like, I'm like, am I correct, Steve? I would be making a tea for you, and I don't want to seem too corny, but we'll actually be praying over this tea, that this tea does what it's supposed to do for you, because it's all about energy. That energy that we put into that formula for making that tea for you, that is a big difference with what's going to happen in your body.
That is not corny to me and
Yeah.
many others, and I completely understand it. People practice Reiki, which
Yeah.
is putting positive energy in for positive outcome. Somebody's feeling a little off, whatever. The practitioner. I know people that Reiki their food. They Reiki,
Yes.
and what
Yes.
again,
Yes.
putting
Yes. Yes.
certain energy into it. Even
Uh-huh.
water. I have a friend that Reikis their water before they will even drink it for the same reason, putting the positive energy into it. So yeah, not
Mhm.
corny. And energy has
Well,
been
actually,
proven.
I agree with breaking your water because of breaking your food and everything, because it makes a difference, because water, it, our body is 70% water. So if you're 70% water and you're going to drink some water, you want to make sure that that water is coming from a good place.
Sure,
Be it
sure.
that you created that good space from breaking the water, or from you uh, making sure that you talk to that water. Whatever it is that you need to do, you need to make sure, because I think all of these things has to do with the way in which your body behave as you become a certain age. When you're young, your body is going, it has to do what it has to do, but as you mature, your body needs as many assistance that you can give it, you need to give it.
How do we're just about out of time. There's so much to talk about here. How do we find you? What's your website?
My website is IO, AYO Wellness, WELLNES, IOsWellness.com. It's very simple. Like, the A, IO, AYO
And
Wellness.com.
there's contact information there. You can buy the bush tea as well.
Okay.
Um,
Yes.
Binta, wonderful talking with you. Love
Thank you.
love your energy.
Thank you.
Really, and love what you do and your passion, and so much more to talk about. What else you offer there at the Wellness Center. Next time we get together, I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Got to book a trip and get down there and get. I'll personally pick up my tea.
Okay.
I'd love to meet you
Okay,
in paradise.
nice talking to you.
You too. We'll talk soon. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.